When you work with tin models, you'll want to use break lines to define your surfaces more accurately. As the name suggests, a break line represents a break in the surface. Break lines could be retaining walls, curb lines, tops of ridges, and valleys or streams. These break lines help form the triangulation network so that interpolation will not occur across break lines. I have a separate drawing open with some break lines in that drawing. I'd like to copy those break lines into my surfaces drawing. But first, let's take a closer look at these break lines. They represent break lines along a roadway along the northerly and easterly side of the project, and another roadway along the westerly side of the project. There's also a stream bed near the west side of the project. For demonstration purposes, the stream bed break line has been left incomplete. I'm going to turn on a layer called Stream Points, and we'll see that the stream bed break line stops at this point. We want to extend it to the end of the stream points. We'll do that by first building an AutoCAD polyline between these points. I'm going to first check my OSNAP settings. I'll type OSNAP. Snap modes are for endpoint, center, intersection, and extension. I want to also snap to nodes, so I'll set that, click OK. Now I can select the polyline icon, start at the endpoint of the break line, proceed to snap to each node until I get to the end of the stream bed points. I'll escape from the polyline command. Now I can join that polyline to the other break line, which is also a polyline. Select the polyline, right click, select polyline edit, then join, select the other polyline, enter, and escape out of that command. Now we have one continuous polyline that completes our break line for the stream bed. I'll turn those stream points off, or freeze that layer actually. Now I can copy these points into my other drawing. There's a couple of ways we can do this. We can go to our edit menu and select all the elements. Then we can either copy them to the clipboard or copy with base point. We're going to try the clipboard method. We'll select them all, right click, select keyboard, copy. Now they're copied to my clipboard. I'll switch to the other drawing, go to the edit menu, paste to original coordinates. The break lines should fall in right where they belong in this drawing. This also brings them in their original layer, which was called break lines. You can see we now have a layer called break lines that was not there before. Let's make that the current layer and then freeze all other layers. Now all we see are the break lines. Now while they are shown, they are not yet defined as break lines. To do this, we need to go into our surface, existing ground, expand the definition, select break lines. There are none yet, so we right click and select add. We're going to add break lines in two groups, one for the roadways, one for the stream bed. So we'll first type a description of roadways. We need to select the type of brake line. There are 5 options. A standard brake line is defined by selecting actual 3D lines, grading feature lines, or 3D polylines that represent brake lines. A proximity brake line is defined by a feature line or polyline where the object vertices are determined from the surface tin points in closest proximity to the corresponding vertices of the brake line. That's the type we want here. A brief overview of the other types. A wall brake line is where you provide an offset side for a brake line to represent something such as a wall and an elevation difference for each vertex along that brake line. You can also import brake lines from a file. This would have been an option for us here, but we demonstrated the other way of copying the brake lines and bringing them in to the drawing first. Or we could have non-destructive brake lines, which are defined using grading feature lines in AutoCAD objects and maintaining the integrity of the original surface. We want a proximity brake line for this project, so we'll use that option, and the other options are grayed out for us. So we'll click OK, and we select our objects. I'm going to select them by window and select all the brake lines, except I'm going to type R to remove the brake line representing the stream bed. That will be a separate brake line. Press Enter. Now we have one set of brake lines for roadways. We'll repeat the process for stream bed